Councilman Quinn.
Yes.
Councilman Brooks.
Yes.
Councilwoman Noon.
Yes.
Councilman Vojtovich.
Yes.
Council Vice President Brooks.
Yes.
Council President Morrison.
Yes, it's 8 yeses, motion passes. I just have a couple of announcements before we get to the ordinances. First one is ordinance 02501, better known as the chicken ordinance, was passed by the council on 3/25/25. Following passage, the ordinance was vetoed by Mayor Jackson because in the opinion of the planning board, the ordinance violated our master plan. The effect of the veto was to cancel the ordinance. The council has not taken any action to override the veto. Second announcement, the June 10th meeting is going to be canceled due to the primary election on the same day. And then lastly, the administration of the council want to remind all Rockaway Township owners of 1- and 2-family residential rentals and tenants of the requirements for the landlord registration. Ms. Yachafano, you want to expand on that?
Thank you, Council President. Back in 2023, the administration and council gave notice to owners and tenants of residential rental properties, and we're speaking only for 1- and 2-family residential rentals, of their responsibility to comply with state statute, which requires that the owners of 1 or 2 residential dwelling units have to file a minimum registration form with the municipal. The contents of the minimum registration form are specified by regulation, and in fact, the registration form is a form that is published by the State Department of Human Affairs for use. There have been registrations, but the registrations have been sporadic. With the help of the tax collector's office, residential, single and 2-family dwelling units have been identified, but under the direction of the mayor, we are taking this opportunity to provide additional notice because enforcement will commence very soon as to those residential property owners of 1- and 2-family rentals who have not registered. Specifically, the state statute which authorizes and requires the completion and filing of the landlord registration form also provides a penalty, and the penalty under the statute is a fine of $500 for each offense, and it's an ongoing penalty, which means that it can be imposed consistently and continually if registration is not made. So the notices and forms are online on the township's website. They've been there for a significant period of time, and any owners of 1- and 2-family residential properties that have not registered are urged to do so. Yeah, you can also stop in town hall and take copies if you can't find or don't want to find them on the website.
Thank you. Moving on to ordinance 02507, an ordinance repealing chapter 2, article 8, section 2-40, entitled Citizens Recreation Committee. Can I have a motion?
Before we make a motion, can I just?
Discussion will happen after the motion.
Okay, then I'll make the motion.
Second.
Okay.
Now I can have discussion.
First public, then.
Yeah.
Is there anybody from the public that wishes to speak on this ordinance alone? Okay, is there any council discussion?
Yes.
Go ahead.
All right, so,
I was, on the way up, I was just helping out one.
I didn't read the stop, I didn't know.
No, he was just asking about the ordinance, he didn't know what it was about.
there we go.
Good. I'm sorry. That's before you speak. So before opening the public portion of this meeting, I just want to remind everyone of the rules that apply to anyone who wants to address the council. Any member of the the public wishing to address the council will have 3 minutes to do so. While an extension of time may be requested, it should not be assumed that an extension of time will be granted. While addressing the council, members of the public may not address or question any individual council member. If anyone addressing the council violates these rules or conducts themselves inappropriately, their speaking opportunity will be terminated and they will be instructed to return to their seat. A refusal to comply will result in removal from the room. Members of the public in attendance may not make comments from the audience without recognition by the chair. Persons doing so will be subject to removal from the room. As council president, I urge tremendous respect for my fellow council members and the public who take the time and effort to attend council meetings. These rules are necessary to permit the council to do its business in an orderly and professional manner. Name and address for the record.
It's Tucker Kelly, 16 Megan Road, Rockaway, New Jersey. Mr. Morrison, just to address the statement that you made, we don't have an ordinance that passed any of these rules that you're actually inciting on members of the public. And again, I wouldn't want any violation of the Open Meeting Act, as well as one's First Amendment right, of course, to our Constitution to speak to the public, or at a public body, at a public meeting. Today, you guys are going to vote on ordinance 2507, the adoption. There was 2 readings of the introduction of this, and on the first reading of it, we had a member of the public that had asked, why are we actually dismantling, taking away the citizens' rec committee, the CRC? And there was no answer from the committee. It was interesting because the person that came up was a family member of one of the council members here that asked a question, and even that individual on the council did not respond. So I'm wondering, and I know you're not going to answer, but just speaking out loud, this is all a result of a civil suit that was filed against the township of Rockaway. And we had a Councilmember Brooks, that runs the Babe Ruth or Lakeland Miners Babe Ruth League.
Hang on a second, I just want to stop you there. So we're not talking about individual council members. What you're saying is inaccurate, okay? And we have gone over this multiple meetings and it was explained. So
I was at the meeting and I don't recall anything that's there, and I want my time reclaimed.
You can watch it.
But we do have Mr. Brooks, because Mr. Brooks has received a complaint that was filed by John Doe.
Stop. Please have a seat. We're not talking about your time is rescinded. Please
It's
have a
not,
seat.
you're
Your
actually,
time is rescinded.
you don't have to yell at me, you don't have to yell at me.
Well, you're not listening.
But I didn't.
This is now your second warning. You may sit down, and I warned you not to talk about individual council members. You did it twice. This is your second warning. Please have a seat. Your time is taken back. Any council discussion?
Yes, thank you. All right, so, for the public that doesn't know, they're repealing and doing away with the Citizens Rec Committee because it's not necessary anymore according to administration. So, that will now fall directly on administration and Dave in recreation. As far as I am under the impression that's where it's going to sit. And the code of conduct will be enforced on this because it is acceptable from what I was told by JIF and our insurance carriers. So, I have no problem moving it and voting on it. And I just wanted to make sure that the code of conduct was included because nothing in the paperwork I received had it on there. But we have to have it. Otherwise, it'll be unruly. Okay, thank you.
Any other council discussion? Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilman Freelander.
Yes.
Councilman Sackett.
Yes.
Councilman Quinn.
Yes.
Councilman Brooks.
Abstain.
Councilwoman Noon.
Yes.
Councilman Wojtovich.
Yes.
Council Vice President Brooks.
Yes.
Council President Morrison.
Yes, that's 7 yeses, 1 abstention, motion passes. Consent agenda. R2561, R2593 through R25 104. Can I have a motion? I have one. I'm sorry. All right, so let's do these again. R2561, R2593 through R25 100. I have 94.
Yes, 94.
96.
All right, we'll do these one at a time. R 2561, R 2593, R 2594, R 2595, R 2597, R 2598, R 2599, R 25100, R 25102, R 25103, R 25104. Yes, we good. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilman Freelander.
Yes.
Councilman Sackett.
Yes.
Councilman Quinn.
Yes.
Councilman Brooks.
Yes.
Councilwoman Noon.
Yes.
Councilman Wojtovich.
Yes.
Council Vice President Brooks.
Yes.
Council President Morrison.
Yes, 8 yeses, motion carries. Okay, moving on to the open to the public portion, the rules that I read into the record earlier still stand. Michael Pritz. Just name and address for the record first.
Michael Fritz, 11 Apache Trail in Rockaway. I've been a resident of Rockaway Township since 1961. I've fished Mount Hope Pond for the last 40 years. 7 years ago, somebody put a big rock in front of the boat launching ramp, so we can't use that anymore. They had a little access road, which we've been using for years and years and years. Now you guys put a gate up, somebody put a gate up. And I was instructed the only way I get my boat there is to carry it in. 64 years old, I'm disabled. I worked my whole life to retire to fish in Rockaway Township, and now I can't do it. And I don't think that that's right, and I think that there should be some way, somehow, we can at least have. There is a ramp that goes from the beach down. It's not short of work, but we know you can't use that. So I was hoping that maybe you guys can find some way so I can fish it.
I know you've been in contact with Mr. Dyer, and I urge that dialogue to continue.
We'll find a way.
Okay. Thank you all very much, I appreciate your time.
Thanks.
No.
No, afterwards.
Stay though.
I know. Anybody else in the public that did not fill out the sheet wish to speak?
Tucker Kelly, 16 Megan's Road, Rockaway, New Jersey. Try it again. Again, I just wanted to make sure that you're aware that infringing on my ability to speak during the open public portion is potentially creating an irreversible violation of open. I just want to make sure you're aware.
Council,
I understand, that's fine.
Okay.
But in any event, the council just passed a consent agenda just now. Didn't go over any discussion about any of the items in consent agenda. Obviously, you guys consented to everything on the agenda. But Resolution 2561 deals with now insurance requirements for sports programs. Back in 2019, Mr. Sackett supported you when we were doing that ordinance where we were requiring sport programs to give us information about their budgets and what they have money-wise. Yes, but it was a very good ordinance, and it's unfortunate that the baseball league program wasn't following that. That's run by a council member. However, tonight, you guys are now removing the CRC, which you just did, and you are now requiring these 12 sports programs to have insurance. And collectively, out of all of them, through the sub-accounts on your budget sheets that you guys have, I believe it's 130 and 250, it's about $200,000 that the township gives to these programs. And in addition to that, back in January of 2022, we had our legal counsel, Joshua Perone, that were aware in January that the sports programs did not have insurance, some of them, primarily the baseball league that's run by a council member. And then there was an email between the administrator at the time and Mr. Perone. And then in 2024, in May, just before that lawsuit dropped, and I believe that lawsuit that you're kind of denying, it's, I think, 388-24, it's in the civil division of Superior Court. That's addressing a baseball league and some other individuals, including Rockaway Township. And it's roughly about a $5 million lawsuit that's going on. You guys are now passing the buck onto these organizations. You're penalizing all these other programs because a council member's program that he runs out of 554 Mount Hope Ave
Stop. Please have a seat. Your time
is an issue that's there.
Second warning, please have a seat.
Council President,
Mike, just go ahead.
clarify, order 2561 provides that the township providing insurance to all the volunteers and coaches. We're not passing the buck on anything.
So just want to be clear, everything that he said was inaccurate, and in fact, no basis in fact.
Oh, no basis.
So just didn't read it, came in trying to act
Yeah.
like he knows what he's doing. Good, just want to make sure, thank you. Is there anybody else in the public that wishes to speak that did not fill out the sheet? Okay. We are going to move on to reports. So let's start, let's do this with this one. Mr. Freelander, are you ready?
No.
Okay, want me to go some
Yeah,
here?
go ahead.
Okay, let's go with Councilman Quinn.
How's that?
You get ready. Go ahead, Councilman.
You're on deck. Okay, thank you. I want to thank administration because I had a concern, the parent called me up about this listing for the insurances, and one of the concerns was about, they didn't see girls cheerleading on there, but Lisa and Dave said they're covered under the football program, and I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that. And yes, you're correct, Mr. Mayor. The town is picking this up and providing full coverage. In fact, they're getting better coverage than what they originally had. So I had no problem supporting this and moving it forward. All right, also participated in the cleanup that we had here in town. My family and I had the municipal area, and including the library, and Jonathan, Rachel, and Mary were there, and Jonathan ended up with some ticks. So we need to make sure that we,
Stole my report.
well, there was other kids, I had to make sure my grandkids didn't get ticks, because they were running into the bushes. And so I mentioned it to Jonathan, and he just told me he had some ticks. He'll go into more depth on that one. He'll explain. Right now, kids are playing lacrosse on Peterson Field, even in the drizzle, because of the turf. They're having practice, so it's good. The older kids were gonna have it on the grassy field, which was canceled, so that they don't destroy the grass. So at least they have somewhere to go to keep practicing. And of course, the basketball courts are not full because of the rain, but they'll be full as soon as it stops. This weekend, they were busy. So other than that, Shannon, I've been giving her some ideas on some of the senior events that we could possibly do moving forward. And also, I want to thank the mayor for letting us move around our luncheons because it was good. We went to the Hibernia Diner and the food was excellent. So everybody raved about it, so thank you. Other than that, everything is done. Thank you.
Sound good. Councilman C. Vernon.
Man, you better be getting your report ready.
Councilman Say.
I'm being
Yeah, attended the cleanup on Saturday at the municipal complex with my daughter's troop, Girl Scout Troop 97363, and got around there, and actually Councilman Quinn had warned me about ticks, and I did have 3 ticks after. And then also, I don't know if you guys were aware, I know the administration, I think Councilman Brooks, and the mayor, you guys did some planting down at KDM, and I heard 17 kids had ticks as well, so, yeah, so just making people aware, it's quite the issue going on, and, yeah, I had 3, so, and, yes, just be aware of the ticks out there. This weekend, our neighboring town, Rockaway Borough, is hosting a touch and truck event on Saturday, 10 to 2 at Fireman's Field. So bring kids out, I think it's $5 to get in, and Should be a fun event for kids, and just also, we had the new situation last night, maybe we're going through reports, the sewer basin collapse on Route 80. I had a ton of people reach out to me last night, and I hit that traffic this morning. It wasn't fun. So if any update by administration, whoever it is, when you get your reports, I know the residents would appreciate that. And Councilman Friedland, when you're ready. Thank you.
There's more people
Councilman
before.
Roach. Be there quick.
I'll make it.
The tick issue, chickens love ticks. They eat a lot. But
Oh, that ordinance died, so don't worry.
I just want to make a comment about the CRC and the insurance for the leagues. The comment was made that this was not discussed, we just voted on it, but this was discussed at length, and our township attorney informed us exactly why we were eliminating CRC and voting this in. It's because the taxpayers were exposed to liability, and this is going to prevent that liability and protect the taxpayers from it. So that's all I have.
Are you skipping,
Councilman Friedland.
We do this every meeting.
no, you don't.
Councilman Friedland.
Really good. I'll be quick.
Turn on your mic.
You can't hear me? Excuse me. Library, quick, remember we had the library festival from outside in front of the municipal building, a whole lot. There were approximately 3,500 people that broke all records with the new programs and everybody. They had a great time there. No one wanted to leave. So let's see what happens next year. Maybe we'll hit 4,000. Substance Abuse Alliance, we're planning with the last part of the phase 4. The end of this month, remember we have Celebrity Day, I believe May 29th. That's when celebrities from all fields, sports, and TV, radio come down. That's going to be big. Also, there's Orange Theory Fitness. They're having a fundraiser, so check online. I believe it's May 16th, which is coming up. That's 2. Historical Society. We met yesterday. Grants. We're trying to combine 2 grants so we can start moving. And I would appreciate the administration with Dave and the rest of the crew to push them, because we want to start opening up Fort Face House, have some visitors. So let's get going on that. That's important. Let's see, did I miss anything else? Pathways, we had Pathways tour, part of the Hibernia Library, and there were over 50 people there, and they're not a lot from out of the area. So kudos to Pathways bringing the town a little notoriety. I guess my voice. I'll tell you what, I'm good at it.
That's why we give you water.
Thank you.
Councilman Roach.
Thank you, Council President. Actually, I got no report tonight.
Councilwoman New.
Yes, I have a few things. I attended the national prayer with the mayor and Councilwoman Brooks. That was a very lovely event. I also did attend the spring cleanup, but before I went to the spring cleanup, I went over to Legion and I bought some flowers, and they're always like great flowers. They're very arctic, and glad to support the Legion for that. Spring cleanup, I did go up to Mount Hope, and it was so windy up there. And then came down to the municipal building, and what a difference between up at Mount Hope. I enjoy Mount Hope, but it was windy and it was cold. The Library Festival, I attended that. Councilman Freelander said there were 3,500 people. I was stuck, I could not get out of the parking lot.
Told you. I was there for 3.5 hours.
Dropping off the kids. But at the Library Festival, I thought of Council President Morrison, because I remember a couple of years ago, he said he opened up a library card. So I opened up a library card. And I have to tell you, I was very impressed with all of the online services that they provided. You can get museum passes, and I actually went home and I downloaded all of the apps on my TV, and because they offer movies and documentaries, and So, yeah, that, so if you don't have a library card, get a library card.
Telling you that for years.
Okay. That's it.
Council Vice President?
Yes, the Kiwanis Club of Rockaway is hosting a touch a truck, down in Rockaway, Corona. It's a really great event that they've been doing a few years now, and it just gets bigger and better. So the people who are in the Kiwanis organization are really awesome. I could echo the sentiments. Night of Prayer was fantastic. The National Night of Prayer was really lovely, as always. And also the Library Festival was a blast. I was smart enough to get dropped off and picked up though. I thought ahead. One of the things I did want to mention is the skin cancer screening, and we do a lot of amazing events at the township. You know, the administration and the health department, and you guys just plan such awesome stuff. And I had stumbled upon the mayor's wellness campaign page. So I do think we should promote that more, because you just put so many awesome things on there for seniors and everyone, not just, you know, between cancer screenings and tax information and all of these things and services that we offer to our residents, about information, and it's all free of charge to them, I think gets lost in time in the shuffle. So it's a great, I'm glad we're housing it all in one little place. But I think we need to try to do a little bit of a campaign to get more people to be aware that stuff like that's posted. I had shared the screening, and one or two neighbors had mentioned that they had popped in because they were unaware. So it's great stuff. Like, let them know that we're, you know, you guys are doing an awesome, awesome job. Prior to coming here tonight, I stopped at the Community Wellness Fair at Copeland. There was lots of tables and vendors. I got some information for you guys, if there's resources and all different things, organizations from foster families to maternal type services. It was just so many people there. It was really wonderful. They had free childcare so people could go and learn about these services that the county and different organizations offer. Pizza, I did get the ice cream cup. I had dinner before I went, don't worry. Dover Dairy was giving out ice cream. It was really great. It was run by the school district, Rutgers Behavioral Health, and Rockaway Township CPAC. Speaking of Rockaway Township CPAC, they did want to thank the mayor and the administration for consistently trying to share the activities and events that they're doing, and they just asked if you could maybe, I asked for a digital copy, but I took a print. It's the Special Education Parent Advisory Committee, and they're just looking for members and more people to be involved. You don't have to have students in the district, you don't have to have kids with special education needs or anything of that nature. You're just there to help and participate. So I'm gonna share this with you guys. I told them we'd be more than happy to share it, and they did thank us for helping publicize some of the activities. They're trying to get back, I think, up and running a little more of a robust program. Tomorrow night at the Copeland Cab at 7:30 is the Board of Ed meeting. And then the KDM event, you know, including I have to tell you, at first I was a little hesitant. I'm like, second graders planting 190, and let's be clear, Allison, these were not saplings, these were trees, okay? These were trees, and I have never seen a group, second graders, these kids were amazing. They were proud of their work. My two planting partners, he could dig a hole, he was hysterical. I said, you've never done this before? He told me he plays Minecraft and watches YouTube, and that's what he learned. And let me tell you, this kid, he planted 4 trees in the first 30 minutes, and when I say, these were trees, these were not, so stop calling them saplings. But it was awesome. It was an amazing opportunity for them. They were so proud of their work. That was definitely the highlight of my week. It was really, really fun, and we had a good one here and there. And yes, the ticks are alive and well. And then last but not least, I just want to thank Al and his team. That guardrail on Whippoorwill is my favorite thing. It's a sight to behold. It is enormous. Everyone is just so happy it's there. The bus drivers and the parents, and they just thank you guys for doing it so quickly, and it's awesome. So again, thank you so much. It was really, really appreciated by the community. And that's all I have.
All right, I just have 2 things. One, every council member and member of the administration's contact information is up on our website. If anybody wants accurate information about anything that we cover here, anything that's town, please don't hesitate to contact us rather than taking the word of one delusional member of the public. Contrary to what some people think, there is not a dark shadow conspiracy, within the confines of the council seeking to undermine the township. It's quite the opposite. These are all upstanding members of society and do whatever they can to support every aspect of this town. So, the other point I have is, like I said earlier, we canceled the meeting on June 10th due to it being the primary. Guys, if you are registered to a political party, please get out and vote on the 10th. It's just a matter of numbers. Generally in a non-national election year, you don't see a lot of action at the polls. But again, just please get out and vote your conscience. Get out there, you registered for a reason, and get out and vote. So I got Mr. Judge Vaughn.
No report,
Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, so a few things. First, I'd like to note, that, May is ALS Awareness Month. ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig disease, is a devastating, fatal neurodegenerative condition. It progressively destroys motor neurons, leading to complete paralysis and in most cases death within 5 years of diagnosis. There is no cure. Military veterans are disproportionately affected by ALS. Multiple studies show they are significantly more likely to develop and die from disease than the general population. Why their minds remain sharp. People living with ALS lose the ability to walk, talk, eat, eventually breathe. As their independence fades, they often rely entirely on caregivers in advanced stages. Around-the-clock care becomes essential. To truly confront ALS, we must raise awareness and ensure policies reflect the urgent needs of those living with disease. Increased advocacy and legislative support are critical to advancing research, easing the burden on families, and ultimately finding a cure. One of the things I wanted to touch on that was mentioned was veterans. The initiative started by Councilman Wojtovich. We have our veterans flags. The plans are to hang them around Park Lake. And we'll be reaching out to get funding for another batch of them. As soon as those get hung, we hope to have them hung for the Memorial Day parade. So that's a very positive thing. Wednesday, April 23rd was Administrative and Assistance Day. We have a ton of, we have several great administrative assistants working in the municipal building and in different parts of the town. They all play a control role to the township as they are usually the front line speaking to residents. So I appreciate all that they do. On the 25th, I attended the wake for Ed Powers. Ed and his entire family have served our community. His wife was on the board of Ed. His son that's a volunteer fireman. He has another son that's a township employee. So prayers with his family as they deal with his loss. Saturday, the 26th, with White Meadow Lake had a spring craft fair. We had a lot of great vendors that picked up a really cool pen from Smith Wood Turning. Got some nice spice rubs, some other things. So they always have a craft fair there every spring. It was really good this year. Sunday the 27th, there's a lot going on in town. We had, I think Morris Knowles had a 5K. Unico did a walk at Park Lake to raise money for the Jersey Battered Women's Service. And